Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So over the last couple days, I don't even want to say the last couple days, because let's just be honest with ourselves. For the last couple months, this market has sucked. All right. Price action and the life around this space has been sucked out of this market in a very big way. And we're starting to see it completely affect the market in a big way. And when I say that, I mean investors around the space. Retail is flocking out of crypto. People are leaving the space. They're getting tired. They're getting frustrated. They're getting, concerned about what's going to happen next. And I do think that this week is going to be extremely important to focus on, because we have so many big events happening this week that will affect price action in a very big way. I'm not trying to sit here and clickbait you guys or, sell you guys a used car. No, this week is actually very important. In fact, I do have a lot of stablecoins on the sidelines to buy the dip if we see a massive sell-off. If we see major red and blood in this space, I am going to be looking at opportunities to buy. And the reason why I say that is because of all of the events happening this week. Now, number one, when we look at this space, the market cap of crypto has not changed too much over the last couple weeks and months. We're still ranging around like the mid $2 trillion level. The fear and greed index sitting at 24, around fearful levels. We could see the last 7 days, Bitcoin down about 5.6%. Ethereum down to $1,800. This is something that I have been watching, because we are now back to levels that we haven't seen since going back to November of 2023, even October of 2023. Now, Bitcoin almost 8K, XRP about $2.10. Most of the market in the last 7 days down at double-digit figures, and this is just a little taste of how bearish this market has been. If we actually look at the last 30 days in terms of the top 100 top gainers, now there's a lot of gains, nothing too crazy, but there is still some nice green out there. But for the most part, this is what we're actually looking at. Negative 65%, negative 40%, negative 38%. I mean, the losses across the board are piling up in a huge way. And this is starting to turn people away from crypto. It's starting to shake the tree in a huge way. And even if we look at the crypto market overview in terms of like the price action, again, like I said, the overall crypto market cap around crypto is now back to like roughly the November 2024 levels. But if we look at the ETFs in the last year, we could see a lot of outflows in terms of like negative $540 million around Bitcoin. The total was about negative 538.4 million. And this has been very consistent across the board, reaching even billion-dollar levels. So again, you could see how this is affecting retail. Retail is getting shaken out. Now, even in terms of the altcoin season index as well, this is where we start to see a lot of the blood lining up. All right. I mean, it is when I say to people what this space is currently in terms of like a phase or a cycle, we are still in a bull market, but the market itself is bearish. Price action is bearish. We are not yet in a bear market. Everyone is getting over exaggerated in terms of what's happening. When we look at the all-time chart for the crypto market cap, just take a quick look at where we are at on this chart compared back to 2021. Like, we're right around almost all-time highs on the total crypto market cap. Yet everyone is extremely bearish. I would argue that sentiment right now around crypto is worse than the bear market lows. XRP is a perfect example of how everyone is so bearish, even though this is what the chart looks like for XRP. Unless you FOMO bought the top on XRP, which nobody should have, you should not be affected at all with this recent price action. The issue right now is how bearish every single headline is. Okay. I just saw another big post on X, which was recession probabilities rise, Goldman Sachs and Moody's adjust forecast. So now they're expecting a recession occurring within the next 12 months from 20% to 35% of a possibility. So now it's a 35% possibility from Goldman Sachs and Moody's that a recession will happen within the next 12 months. The market is extremely fearful. This is a massive shakeout. And this upcoming week is going to be a big week for crypto. It's going to be a big week for everything. Why do I say that? Well, number one, if we look at how the market has been reacting to tariffs, trillions of dollars are being wiped out of stocks, and billions of dollars are being wiped around crypto as well. Over $130 billion was wiped out of crypto back on the 28th, leading into the market close. On top of that, we also have over here breaking. The S&P 500 is now on track to open in correction territory as investors prepare for reciprocal tariffs. 3-day losses in the S&P 500 are set to exceed $2.5 trillion at the open. Big shout out to Coinbase letter for this. Now, this week is very important because this is tariff week, right? So we have here, it's officially reciprocal tariff week. President Trump has called Wednesday Liberation Day with 20% plus tariffs coming on up to 25 plus countries. U.S. tariffs will impact 1.5 plus trillion worth of imports by the end of April. Here's what you need to know. He has been discussing this Wednesday, April 2nd for weeks. This is the day that he named Liberation Day where widespread new tariffs are coming. We believe April 2nd will be the biggest escalation of the trade war to date. Now, again, when we think about this, everyone is getting peak bearish on April 2nd. We have to watch, wait, and see what really happens. In my opinion, when we really look at this space, when we see the entire crowd flipping bearish, it typically means we should be looking to flip bullish. To be clear, this is the day when President Trump is announcing reciprocal tariffs. These will be new tariffs on top of already existing and announced tariffs. While markets view that as a day where uncertainty will subside, we believe the exact opposite will be the case. But this is the problem, right? So Coinbase letter thinks that the entire market thinks that this is going to be the day where, uncertainty will subside. But that's the problem, right? Over 50% of investors now feel another big crash is going to happen. Wouldn't this be the exact perfect environment for that big crash to happen on a day that's being hyped up for, weeks? I personally believe so. But we have here, currently live U.S. tariffs include 25% on all steel and aluminum, 25% on most Canadian goods, 10% on energy, 25% on all Mexican goods, 20% on many Chinese goods. The 25% auto tariffs and 25% tariffs on countries purchasing Venezuelan oil will go live this week. On top of this, Canada has already announced reciprocal tariffs on 21 billion of U.S. goods. China has placed 10 to 15% tariffs on U.S. agricultural products. And the EU has vowed retaliatory tariffs as well. Now, again, when we think about all of this, okay, the trade war is obviously ongoing. This is a storm that we must endure. Everyone is getting very, very bearish. In fact, we're starting to see the 2008 charts really kind of popping up again. Recession talks, Great Depression talks as well. I've seen this many times over. Every single time that we've seen it, guess what? We've resulted in a big rally. Now, it's not just a tariff week to talk about, right? There's a lot of additional key events happening this week as well, like ISM manufacturing PMI data on Tuesday, JOLTS job openings data as well on Tuesday. Then we have, of course, the Liberation Day on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we have ADP non-farm employment data, March jobs report on Friday as well. And then, of course, we do have Powell speaking on Friday as well. This is going to be the most volatile week. I agree with that. I think that this week is going to be extremely volatile, which is why I'm making this video. I think that you guys should be concerned. I think that you guys should buckle up and prepare. The best way to prepare is not using leverage, not trading openly, not making impulsive decisions, holding stablecoins on the sidelines. That way we prepare for massive red, fearful days. But the thing that I'm looking at the most is the overall view of the market. XRP is still trading at massive highs. Bitcoin itself, big shout out to James E. Thorne for this. He put out a post regarding Bitcoin's chart and he said, ignore the noise on the 29th. If we look at this and we really zoom out, look at where Bitcoin is trading. We could see the EMAs and the moving averages. Overall, Bitcoin has not changed at all. And in fact, we're actually at levels that we have seen every single time that a massive impulsive move has happened. Just for an example, go back to March of 2024 into the summer of 2024, where we did see moving averages being targeted on Bitcoin right before that massive expansion up to 100,000 plus. We are right there again, and it's March of 2025. Now, is this market going to do the exact same thing? Not exactly, but I do think that we are in store for a major relief rally on Bitcoin and across the board. And also, big shout out to Credible Crypto for this. This is also why relying on simple moving average crosses without taking market context into consideration can be so misleading. The last two death crosses, which everyone hypes up, everyone makes YouTube videos about a death cross incoming. You should be fearful, get scared, be worried, get concerned. They marked local bottoms before massive rallies. I am sure there were plenty of accounts here screaming about a massive dump because of the death cross. Meanwhile, at each of those bottoms, we were staunchly bullish, recognizing that both those pullbacks were just smaller corrections after major impulses. With another impulse to follow after, which we got. And big shout out to Benjamin Cohen for this. We have Bitcoin has a death cross coming up soon. You may notice that local lows tend to occur around that time. And if we actually look at this, we could see that every single time that we've had a death cross using moving averages, and this goes all the way back, by the way, to 2020 and even 2021, this has marked a significant local bottom right before a massive rally. And the market is primed for a massive relief rally. Why? Think about all of the big updates happening behind the scenes of bearish price action with this trade war. Everyone is talking about this trade war. For weeks, mainstream media has been harping on about this trade war never ending and how stocks are going to continue to sell off and things are going to be extremely bearish. Now, these things are lagging factors, right? Like this is a lagging factor, but it's still telling us that we should be pretty bullish here. I still think that risk on assets for this entire year are going to be very bullish. Why? The dollar has been weak. The dollar has been weak for weeks now since going back to the middle of January. At the same exact time that the overall trend across the board of the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, even Bitcoin has been intact. And again, this is at a time where XRP is still trading over $2 plus. Everyone is getting peak bearish. The shakeout is happening. And I've stated many times over on X, right? Like I made a post, I believe it was yesterday. When we eventually make it out of this trade war storm, what will hit this market will completely shock everyone. The bearish noise is hitting peak levels, and we have watched this movie time and time again to know where it ends. I won't be shaken out before the sun is shining. And again, this is why I'm telling you guys, like, look at the headlines. Trump threatens tariffs on Russian oil over Ukraine. Trump proposes major tariff increase, aims for $600 billion annual revenue. Recession probabilities rise. Goldman Sachs and Moody's adjust forecasts. Like, we're seeing peak bearish headlines, and we're also seeing 2008 charts being posted. We're hearing talks about a Great Depression again. I mean, when we think about this, when we hear these types of, talks, it reminds me of the peak bearish events. We go back to March of 2020. We go back to FTX. We go back to any single major massive sell-off that this market has endured, and we think about what was being posted around that time. If we go back to March of 2020, CNBC, Forbes, every single news outlet was talking about how much more pain is expected in the market and how, Bitcoin could go back down to $3,000 or $1,000. And guess what ended up happening? We rallied from that point on. I'm not saying that this is the same exact situation here. I'm just saying that we should not get overly bearish at this current point in time. And we should make sure that we are taking into accountability our emotions. We need to calm ourselves down. We need to focus up. We need to zoom out and realize what's really going on here and how this, discussion on tariff discussions, right? The trade war itself is getting over exaggerated. Let's see what happens this week. It's going to be a very volatile week. We're going to see a lot of price action, a lot of price data, and this is probably when the storm hits the hardest. So just prepare, buckle up, get ready, and do not act impulsively and do not get shaken out at this current point. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.